my god, it's been a while. Oh, we're doing my favorite Godzilla movie, Invasion of the Astro Monster. Plot. We open in space! Fuji and Glenn, our two main protagonists, are on a mission to Planet X. Cut to Fuji's sister talking to the head of Space Authority about how her brother is overbearing and doesn't like her man. Cut to the most annoying sound ever conceived by mankind. This sound wakes me up in a cold sweat every night. The man who created this abomination is Tetsuo, who is dating Haruno, sister to Fuji.
Everybody got that?
Somebody calls him and wants to buy the rights for his terrible sound-making device. Cut back to our two main protagonists. They are passing Jupiter, and out comes, from Jupiter's orbit, Planet X. I love the old school planet special effects. It takes me back to my childhood. It's just something about it that's just right. The two check into Space Authority, getting confirmation that they can land and explore the planet. The music in this movie is amazing. Spooky sci-fi. It's perfect. They find out that the planet is warm. Too warm. Turns out there is gravity on this planet similar to Earth, and lightning begins to shoot out of the sky, but no clouds. Fuji plants the flags and radios back to Glenn after seeing some footprints. But oh no, Glenn is not responding. The buildup here is great. The music and atmosphere really heightens the spookiness. You know, desolate planet and all. Fuji starts calling out for Glenn and sees that the ship is gone. A pod raises from the ground, telling Fuji to step inside. He reluctantly gets in the pod and is lowered into the underground base. After some walking, he finds Glenn and the controller of Planet X. The controller of Planet X asks Glenn and Fuji to sit as he wants to talk about an issue they are having. monsterzero. King Ghidorah begins attacking the surface of the planet. So after Ghidorah the three-headed monster, Ghidorah flew to Planet X and made it his new home. The three-headed monster destroys the hydrogen oxide plant. Glenn and Fuji are put in a force field as they use their brains to figure out that hydrogen oxide is water. Suspicious. Everything goes back to normal and the controller has a proposition for the people of Earth. Give them monsterzero 1 and monsterzero 2, Godzilla and Rodan, so that they can destroy King Ghidorah. In return, they will give mankind the cure for all sickness. Glenn and Fuji now fly back to Earth with the proposition. Seems like a good deal. Minus the controller's evil laugh. The military begins the search for Godzilla and Rodan. Meanwhile, Tetsuo hates money and is prying into what Miss Namikawa, the person who bought his invention, is doing with it. We cut to a man who is baking under a heat lamp. Tetsuo and Haruno meet up with Fuji and Glenn for dinner. Fuji lets Tetsuo know that he is useless, just like Aqua from Konosuba. Glenn is shacking up with Miss Namikawa. Who wouldn't? The military finds radioactivity in the lake. Godzilla has been found. Glenn and Fuji go to the lake and everyone is seeing strange lights coming from inside the lake. Out comes a spaceship. The people from Planet X are already here. Glenn and Fuji and the head of Space Authority walk to the now landed ship to confront the controller about them already being here. He says they could not continue to wait any longer. They need Godzilla and Rodan. The two other ships split up. One pulls Godzilla out of the lake, the other blows up a mountain, pulls out Rodan. They are ready for transport to Planet X. Glenn, Fuji, and Dr. Sakurai, the head of Space Authority, all get on board the spaceship to go back to Planet X. I love the design and sounds of the spaceships. It's so 1960s. It's perfect. All of the ships begin to fly away with the monsters. Tetsuo sneaks onto an island where some of the people from Planet X are stationed. They trap him using a trap door. Idiot! After a very short space trip, they all arrive at Planet X. A couple of Planet Xians remove the water from Godzilla and Rodan's pods. Suddenly, King Ghidorah starts attacking. The Xians use a laser to zap Godzilla and Rodan awake. Godzilla and Rodan, now awake, begin the epic fight with Ghidorah. Godzilla uses his atomic breath while in cover, and then throws a rock. Rodan drops a rock on Ghidorah. Godzilla then zero gravity jumps onto Ghidorah. Okay, that was fucking badass. Ghidorah then flies away, leaving Godzilla to do the most iconic thing he has ever done. He dances in zero gravity. Why? Cut to the controller's office. Glenn and Fuji have run off. They're exploring, trying to figure out why the controller is a weird guy. They run into a room with gold everywhere. Glenn sees Namikawa. But wait, there's two! What does it mean? A good time. They are then caught and confronted by the controller. The two bring up the fact that they don't have water but need it. But the controller is not fazed by the comment, as he says they will find out soon why they don't need to worry about water. The three are then sent back to Earth with a cure to all sickness on tape, leaving a sad Godzilla and Rodan on Planet X. They look really sad. Like I always feel bad. The three return to Earth, and in front of Japan's government, they play the tape that will cure all sickness, which tells them to surrender the Earth, and if they don't, Godzilla, Rodan, and King Ghidorah, which Planet X controls, will destroy the human race. Turns out they controlled Ghidorah the whole time. This was a trap. The world goes into a panic as Planet Xians begin to take over. Glenn finds Namikawa, who is then killed, and Glenn captured. Nick Adams was a fantastic actor with some of the best lines in Godzilla movie history. He was also in Frankenstein Conquers the World and is again fantastic. It's a shame that he passed away the way he did at the age he was. He truly was an amazing actor. Space Authority is trying to come up with a solution on how to stop them. The controller makes an announcement on how the monsters will start attacking and that they are being controlled with magnetic waves. Why would you say that? Now the humans know how to stop you. Like, you didn't think about that? Idiot! So the scientists begin a plan to stop the magnetic waves from controlling the monsters. Glenn and Tetsuo are now bunkmates. They discover that the bars are soundproof. I mean, you could see through. Sure. Tetsuo finds a note that was in Glenn's pocket. It's from Namikawa, and it tells them that Tetsuo's annoying sound device destroys the Xian circuitry and they will die. Jump Comic-Con is here! Glenn and Tetsuo then begin kissing. Oh, wait, sorry, wrong movie. It just so happens that Tetsuo has a spare one in his coat. He turns it on, the guards die, they escape. Glenn and Tetsuo meet up with Fuji, who was working on the anti-controller device. They all come up with plans. The Xians begin the attack ahead of schedule. Godzilla, Rodan, Ghidorah begin destroying towns, cities, and villages as the military tries to stop them. But oh no, the UFOs are destroying the military. The destruction scenes in this movie are really badass, minus the stock footage. This is also one of the only times that Godzilla and King Ghidorah are like on the same side, like teamed up. It's crazy to actually think about. Destruction, chaos, madness, the monsters cannot be stopped. Space Authority begins playing the annoying sound over the radio stations, interfering with the Xians' plan. They also begin using the anti-magnetic rays to free the monsters. The UFOs begin to explode, and with one final word, the controller blows up. The monsters are then free to immediately start fighting Ghidorah. Godzilla kicks a rock at Ghidorah, who then starts using his gravity beams. Rodan starts attacking Ghidorah's tails as Godzilla is using his skills from Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. Godzilla grabs Ghidorah's tails as Rodan flies straight into Ghidorah. Everyone gets knocked down. Once back up, Rodan picks up Godzilla and they go straight into Ghidorah, all of them falling into the ocean. Again, Ghidorah flies away. Again. The end. Okay, listen. This movie is my favorite Godzilla movie of all time. Like, this is my number one. The plot is excellent. Goofy, yes. Very science fiction, space travel, but I can't help but love it. I love the music, I love the set designs, I love the effects, the flying saucers, the military vehicles, Godzilla's suit, Rodan's suit, Ghidorah's suit, which it's the same Ghidorah suit. Godzilla looks different, and I think it's the same suit from Ghidorah the Three-Headed Monster for Rodan. I genuinely love this movie, man. The music heightens everything. The spooky science fiction tracks are fantastic. It's one of the best Godzilla soundtracks to date. And I am watching the English dub version, so it may be different for the original Japanese version. Nick Adams, fantastic actor. Everyone's like really coming out and acting their ass off in this movie. Look, everything in this movie works for me. Yes, some of the goofier shit you can give me shit for because I don't like movies like GXK, The New Empire, like Godzilla dancing in space. You can give me shit for that. But at the end of the day, like, this movie had a good story that made the difference. Like, it was genuinely a good movie. And goofy things can happen in good movies. GXK The New Empire just isn't a good movie, but that's beside the point. Invasion of the Astro Monster. I have always loved this movie. To me, it's a 5 out of 5. The best Godzilla movie. I highly recommend it in every way. I love it. And despite its flaws, like goofiness and stock footage, it's got one of the most complex plots of any of the Godzilla movies, and it works. The writing's great, acting's great, everything about it's great. 5 out of 5, definitely check it out.